Hello and welcome to the Table 501 podcast. I am one of your four hosts. My name is Ahmed. Who else is here?
I'm
Shane.
Justin.
Justin's here. Shane's here.
Alex is also here.
There he
Alex
is.
here.
Oh, Alex is here.
Alex is here. It's like
I
the
am
song
here.
closing time. Like Alex is here.
I-
Alex is here.
I don't quite remember that part of the song.
Oh no!
No,
It was
Hanky.
actually a really big part of the song. But
Yeah,
okay,
you listen to the censored
continue.
version. You listen to the censored version.
Okay, alright.
Okay, this is a Radiohead podcast now.
It's semi-sonic. Radiohead doesn't even write closing
okay.
time. It's semi-sonic.
Yeah, I
no,
love
it's
Radiohead.
Radiohead.
Okay, anyway, a ban list happened. Holy shit.
Yeah, a lot happened, but like not a lot of good happened.
No, a lot of good happened, but then the bad at the end just completely negated all the good.
Dude, I know. Just the fact that what did they put it at 3? Yeah, they put like Skullcrobat Joker at 3. What the fuck were they thinking?
Yep,
I'm joking,
Pendulum.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm totally joking.
No, but let's start up at the top and then we'll talk about the end. Or do
Yeah,
you guys
do
want to
you-
start at either end?
Let's work.
You want to
our
go with
way-
like unlimited first and then forbidden, or do you want to talk about the forbidden stuff first and then go?
I'd say let's go top down.
Yeah.
Top down,
Yeah,
especially
I
because the
love when the
first
top
card on
comes
the
down.
list. Now, the literal first card is Arch Nemesis Protoss.
Hey,
I'm gonna
let's
be honest,
go.
I don't even know what the fuck that card is. Much like Ahmed,
it's
Recital
actually-
Starling, I don't know what the fuck that card is.
It-
It's gone.
It's
Yeah.
VFD kind of, but for special summon, it's a toxic card.
It's
like a
literally
floodgate.
just
Basically, you just call like an attribute, destroy all types or attributes, all monsters of that attribute on the field, and then your opponent cannot special summon monsters of that attribute until the next turn. So like, it was just like the
Well,
safest thing to
okay.
just like call dark. Also, it can't be destroyed by card effects, which is like cool. And you summon it by like banishing 3 worms, I think. But yeah, it was just like a
no, it's just 3 monsters with
lingering
different attributes. I think.
Okay, 3 monsters with different attributes, even better. But yeah, it was just like a lingering floodgate, and that they
What?
played in Sword Soul.
Yeah, another
Sword
one of
Soul.
my my
okay.
argument, or another thing to add to my argument, that lingering effects that prevent a whole part of the game are just like the most toxic card effects in the game.
So I mean, it deserved to leave.
Which is funny because the Nemesis cards did absolute fucking nothing for the longest time. But they were always these cards, like when they came out of what? I think they came out of what did they come out of? Blazing Vortex?
Eternity? No, I don't know.
No,
actually.
it was like around there, I'm pretty sure. I
Where
forget.
did
It
they come out in?
was like early last year, like this time last year, I'm pretty sure.
It was Eternity Code, yeah.
It was Eternity Code, okay. But anyways, they came out, you
Oh.
read them, and you're like, huh, if these ever can consistently come out, these are like ban-worthy. And I say these because Escudos is the same card, but for types instead of attributes.
Yeah.
So it's only a matter of time before some deck can get that, abuse that.
I just want to point out that Etco is Petco without the first letter. So
That is
Thank
true.
you
knew
for
that-
coming to
you
our
knew that.
podcast.
Yeah, thank you for coming to-
We're washed up. That was the peak of comedy.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, I don't really
Uh,
have much to say on Protoss.
I was
personally.
gonna say, like, it's pretty much that just the
That-
best deck in the format is, or at least was, Sword Soul, and it's still strong. They just missed their cherry on top. They still have
Yeah,
all the
exactly.
tools. at their
Like
disposal.
I saw everyone on Twitter and everyone in this Discord like explode and get excited about Protoss leaving, and I was just like, cool, that's probably a good hit.
Literally, yeah.
Alex,
Yeah,
you got any thoughts on Protoss?
I didn't even know it was a card until I saw it was banned.
Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh
no.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh podcast.
I just want everyone to know, we can get this out of the way right here. How much actual playing have we all done?
I
like-
haven't played in person since September.
Yeah, I'm about the same as well.
Last time I played in person was against Justin when he stopped over at my house.
So yeah, a month. But before that, last local I went to was I think in November.
Was that the same one that you took me to?
It might have been. I think I went to one without you,
Okay.
like that same week or the week after. But it was around that same time.
Okay.
Yeah, so we really haven't been playing the actual like TCG, especially in person, in a while, and we'll get to the reason why after we talk about the ban list.
You know it's master.
yeah.
You know.
Well,
But,
there's some other reasons. There's some other reasons.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's this thing called COVID, which it's kind of depressing. That in every podcast we've recorded since what was it, like June 2020, we've had to say wash your hands, wear a mask, social distance.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, obviously these are good things to do, but guys, I hate this pandemic so much.
Yeah, I just want it to
Yeah.
end.
I'm crying. Anyway, okay, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about stupid cardboard. Okay, the next one is Alex's band.
Yeah. Sorry, Alex.
Alex, I'm gonna let you talk about this
Yeah,
one
I'm not gonna say a
because
single word.
So,
you've got the
I
most
mean,
insight into what this means.
So the next card on the list is Eva. It was already limited before. I mean, like, it sucks, but
The card sucks.
no, the card itself
Sort
is
of.
great.
Okay.
The card itself is fucking awesome, but like, I don't know, it being banned, it's kind of annoying, but it really isn't that big of a deal.
It definitely needed it though.
I mean, I agree, especially given they're not gonna touch the rest of the Herald engine.
No, I don't think they need to
So-
at this point.
No, I think it's okay. I mean, like, had I have continued playing with Ultimateness to begin with, this probably would have been a bigger problem, but I had already moved on to Perfection, and honestly, it really... There have been duels where I don't even pull out Beatrice or need Eva because I'll have enough in my hand already. So it
So do
really
you run
doesn't...
any other fairies other than Orange Lights and Herald? They're the
outside
what's
of
the
Have
normal
the...
one?
you
Girl?
heard of Ben 10, Shane?
Well, and Ben 10,
There's
okay.
been like
Or
Tekken,
Natasha.
they've
Oh, I
been-
guess
or,
yeah. You
like,
still run the Cyber
Yeah,
Angel.
all of
Tekken
all
is
of the
called,
Cyber
like, Ben
Angels.
10.
You still run okay. So you just run a slightly larger
Sometimes
Cyber
they play
Angel
Ida
package.
10 as
I don't
well.
even. Honestly, I
I'm
really
okay.
didn't.
Ahmed, please.
I honestly didn't add to. In fact, I had to get rid of Natasha to put the pre-prep
Yeah, that sounds like the
list
right
in there.
So-
So I mean, now that Eva's gone, I'll probably add Natasha back in.
Which isn't bad. Like
But-
Natasha's still a fucking bonkers
It's
card.
a
Oh,
good
going
card.
second, Natasha might be one of
Yeah.
the most broken cards in the deck. It
Hey.
literally is just non-once per
Hey,
turn.
blind
Give me all your
second.
monsters.
Drytron Cyber Angels is still on the fucking menu. All right.
Yeah,
What
let
is?
me just make a fucking format Appaloosa with your monsters.
Shane, what
I'm
did you
gonna
say?
do it.
I'm just like blind second Drytron Cyber Angel. Probably bad,
Dude.
but I mean it sounds funny.
You love going second.
I do love going second,
I need to
particularly
say,
because
fuck
of
going
Master Duel.
second.
But
Fuck going second. It sucks. Anyway,
yeah.
let's keep on topic.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
does
I
anyone have
mean,
any
like-
other remarks in Eva or no?
No, I think that was a fair hit. Like,
Yeah, people
don't-
were so bored of Drytron.
yeah.
It is. I really am bored of it. I'm sorry, Alex. Like that message I sent that was supposed to be to Ahmed, but I was tired and put it in the fucking chat.
Oh, I like I said, I go back to my statement before. It really doesn't do. It does something, but it doesn't do enough for me.
It actually adds, not necessarily adds consistency to your deck, but now you run pre-prep, right?
I mean, I've been running pre-prep, so
Okay. No
Alex,
more
do
remarks
you
on Eva
also-
or no? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say. I just assumed we were done. I was gonna see if Alex wanted to also talk about the next hit, since he's got a little experience with that one too.
Ah, actually the next two, I'm pretty sure. No, never mind.
Next set.
yeah. So the next card on the list, which was a completely fair hit, because
Much needed.
100% fair, 100% fair, was Samorg, the Bird of Sovereignty.
Because this card sucked.
Yeah.
Oh, this card sucked.
I will say I'm kind of happy it's gone because now I don't feel the need to pull that card out every single turn that I get a chance to. Because it was basically just like you just went for that card and then ended on either Mist Valley Apex Avian or the Wind Barrier Statue.
Yeah, well, because it's like that. Sometimes that's all you needed. Like against
Yeah.
the majority of decks, 2 floodgates is more than enough to just fucking kill him.
Yeah, and I would
Yeah.
even argue that this doesn't really. The one of the other hits on this list does kind of hurt the deck a bit. But
But
yeah, but
No.
but like this just seemed like another arch nemesis Protoss kind of thing where like
Yeah.
Samorg was just
Yeah.
a cherry on
It
top.
lowered the
Well, because
ceiling.
it
'Cause
also doesn't have protection as well, like for
Yes.
the things it points at. Yeah, fuck
Yes.
that. Fuck that card.
But I
Fuck
think
that
as long
card.
as it's on the field, like you can't target other winged beasts with card effects or something like that, or
Or
is it just one?
itself. You
or
can't target itself or
Yeah.
the card or the wing piece it points to.
Yeah.
Damn.
So like, sorry,
That's
I didn't mean to
crazy.
cut you off, but like that is unbelievably toxic to set up two untargetable fucking floodgates. Like no.
Yep. Completely fair. It once again, like, it doesn't really, I can't say it particularly kills the deck. It actually means that I have to think more. So that's all it really comes down
That's
to.
a problem.
Yeah, well, then that's why I'm kind of happy it's gone, because like literally it would be, oh, I go turn 1, I get out some morgue, I do whatever else I feel like doing, and then I end my turn on whatever I feel like.
Yeah, I just want to also point out that at least half, I haven't necessarily counted or even looked at it like closer, but at least half of the extra deck monsters that are forbidden right now get something out of deck. Just like either special summon out of deck or do something that gets something out of deck. You think like specifically special summoning from the deck. You think Konami would learn their lesson by now, but
No.
I
Hey,
mean,
leave needle fiber alone.
hey, it's Helga Fibrax. Thank you.
Yeah, no.
We live in America.
You live in America.
No, you do too.
You live in America.
No, you
Okay, no,
live in
you're right, you're right.
America.
Anything else on Smorgamage? You sounded like you wanted to say something before, and then
I didn't really see. What did you play this in? Like Trizu? No.
Bird up.
Riley or less.
Oh,
You literally ran this in Bird Up, which is the reason it got banned, because it started getting notice.
so would
Yeah.
you make
Wanderies
this?
also ran it.
Oh, sure. Okay. Would you make this then before you started doing your try lines?
No,
Because
it's
once
the
you start
cherry
doing your
on top.
try lines. Well, how do you get this out then?
So, like, if you want my honest opinion, I will use my try effect to get it out.
Oh.
I will use Karis to special summon himself onto the field, and then use Karis effect, banish whatever I had to get that card out. That's how easy it was.
Yeah. So essentially the bird up end
I
board
see,
would be
okay,
like
for
yeah.
some reason I thought all the Tri monsters only allowed you to use Beast Warriors as link material. I completely forgot that
Oh,
they
no.
allow you to use
it's the whole
Beast
Tri
Warrior or
type.
Wing Beast. Okay, yeah.
Tri
Never
brigade.
mind,
It's
never
all
mind.
free. It's so
Never mind.
fucking stupid.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I thought, because it says because some more requires a Wing Beast, and I was like, okay, how the fuck are you getting out if you're only allowed to use Beast Warriors? But never
Yeah.
mind. I totally.
And actually, yeah, no,
Nerval-
you have to.
Nerval is a wing beast.
Yeah, and you kind of have to
okay.
do it before you do all like your more in-depth Lyrilusc plays, because Barrel Canary locks you into Exceed. But anyways,
Yeah.
like the try end board before this was like F0, Ensemble Robin, which I think is like a non-once per turn compulse or
Yep.
something. Yeah, and then Samorg with either an Apex Avian or a Barrier Statue.
That's cool.
It was
It-
enough.
yeah,
With
it was
usually
great.
like a Revolt set too, potentially.
Oh yeah, you definitely have a rule set.
Except wait, no, Revolt really wouldn't do much anyways, because you can't special summon anything other than
On your opponent's
Wing-
turn, you
or-
can. On your opponent's turn, you can.
On your opponent's turn, you definitely can.
Yep.
But you would have to only special summon wind monsters out of the grave or banish pile, so like Nerval or any of your Lyriluc's. I don't know.
Why would you not do that?
Well, and you would also only have like 2 other monster spaces, so you wouldn't be able to go into. I mean, I guess you could go into Shureg if you like.
should
You could
go into
absolutely
Shureg.
go into Shureg. You're
Why
right.
would you not?
You can.
I'm
clear
just trying
your
to think of what the
opponent's
materials
entire
would be. Would
fucking
you
board.
would you
Right.
just?
You
I'm just trying to
could
figure out the
use-
materials.
So
I'm just trying to figure out the materials.
Let us
if you put barrier statue up, you actually cannot get Shureg.
Wait, you can't even summon Shureg. Yeah, it's a dark.
Yeah, it's a dark.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay, anyway,
Basically,
moving
you
on.
put
That's what I was
Can I
talking about. I was just like, I guess you
the
couldn't
next
really go into
man.
Shureg, and everyone's just like,
can I
you
handle
can
this one?
you go
Yeah,
into
Justin.
Shureg.
Yeah, Shane, that's ableist. Don't say that. Anyway,
Okay.
God damn it.
Can I have this one?
Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it. Go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
I just want to say, fuck you to every person I've ever played online, in person, ever, who's fucking sacked me game 1, game 2, ever. By drawing this one of, it's gone. Fuck you, Imperial Order. You suck. Oh, it feels so good to be done with this. Oh my
card is
god.
so toxic.
Oh,
I'm
it's-
also happy that it is gone, but
But
just to play
Why
devil's
are you
advocate
butting?
here,
Why are you butting?
Imperial Order was usually the one main deck out to Mystic Mine, which is still in the
No,
format.
shut the fuck up. No,
And Shane's
that's
off
not
the
that's not correct.
podcast.
What Imperial Order was a card with an unbelievably low cost that just locked very specific decks out, or like any deck that uses like spells in their combo line, which is most decks. It's a floodgate chain. It's
No, it is. Like I said, I'm happy it's gone.
Like,
I'm happy it's gone. I just wish that there were some other cards in this forbidden section. Do you guys want to talk about the cards that aren't here, or do you want to save that to the end?
we can talk about that at the end.
Okay.
But
Particularly
yeah,
two. One of them I already
What?
mentioned. The other one, well, we'll talk about it at the end.
I will say though, if you're that afraid of getting mined game 1, like I don't think Imperial Order was the card that you should be hoping for.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me
playing a
run
1-0?
one
Let me
cosmic
wait
in case like
five
the 1 out of
or
100
6
games.
turns,
Why not
and then
play
draw
3?
this card, and then set it, and then wait another turn, and then flip it up and play the game. Like, I don't know, there's better options.
Totally.
But yeah, I don't really even have that much to say. This card sucked. It made no sense at 1 because it just felt bad to lose to. Goodbye.
I
Get
never
out.
really
Yeah,
got that
good
argument though.
riddance.
Like I'm glad it's gone, but like people are just like, I hate it at 1. Either put it at 0 or 3 because it's just sacky. Like
No,
I
no, you
absolutely
should
would not
absolutely.
want to have Imperial Order at 3.
Exactly. I wouldn't either. But I wouldn't want it at 1 because then it's like the least skillful thing. It is,
Exactly.
I lost a game to pure RNG. Like, there was no outplay. My opponent drew the one card that locks me out of the game. They placed it, they passed turn, they flipped it.
Or
Like-
if you're a gamer, they could have done the Curious Lightstorm into Griffin combo, sent the Imperial Order, and set the Imperial Order off of their Griffin.
Now
But no one
that,
does that. No one
if
does
anyone
that
ever
anymore.
did that to me, I would shake their hand. That's a good loss.
Bro, I'd
That's a
shake their
good loss.
Yeah.
Give him a little dick kiss, you know what I'm saying?
See, yeah. Oh, DK. I can't talk. I can't
DK,
talk.
ooh. alright.
Donkey Kong. All right,
Um,
Shane, you
yeah.
got a lot of opinions on the next limit.
I do. Astrograph?
Yeah.
I don't play Pendulum. I have no idea what the deck does. I thought that every Pendulum card
on,
could
Jim.
come back, honestly.
Shane did actually say that at one
Shane
point.
did
Yeah, no,
actually
but
say
after playing on Master Duel with what they have, I actually fucking hate the Astrograph.
Yeah,
It
it
is so-
sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks.
Well, I
Oh
think
my
it's
God.
specifically the interaction with Electromite. Like I don't
Yeah,
understand. I don't understand how that like interaction works out. Like, because the card isn't the card you destroy with Electromite sent as cost, and then Astrograph comes to hand, and then you can activate Astrograph effect to special from or whatever the fuck it does, because the card was destroyed on your side of the field. I don't know.
I don't know if it just. No, wait, no. There is no card that destroys for cost. There's
Oh yeah,
no,
not
that would
destroys
be
as cost. Never mind.
unbelievably
Never mind.
broken.
So okay, so it destroys his effect, then you get to add something back. Then usually you're adding the Astrograph Sorcerer from the extra deck back to hand after sending it there with Electromite. And then Astrograph Sorcerer can get out and you can special summon it from hand and then do whatever other shenanigans.
It adds more money. It's ridiculous. The card is super.
It's
strong.
a
I
just
think
advantage on a pure card, like purely on the card. It's kind of nuts.
now that Astrograph's back, okay, I was fine with letting Electromite back to 1. I really was.
I
Now that I
completely-
know
yeah.
Astrograph is. Now that I see how it plays, like in Master Duel, which we're gonna talk about later.
What's that?
Wow, you get one or the other. You get one or the other.
Yeah,
Either
yeah,
you get
no.
your Astrograph or you get your Electromite. Like, pick
I
one.
completely agree now.
Pick
I
one.
was blind before, but now I can truly see that there can only be one in the format.
Yeah.
One or the other. Absolutely under no circumstances can they both be legal.
There can only be one, Shane. Interesting. Mr. I hate floodgates. Using a floodgate syntactically.
Ooh.
I'm talking about just the card. Okay, all right, whatever. Next card, Ahmed. You have thoughts on this? Unless
Not really.
other people
Discreeto's
had any.
cool to come back. I haven't practiced at all or tested anything with it, but I'm excited. I bought one right when the ban list dropped because I'm like, oh, cool, this will be fun to use. But guess what? In-person play isn't around. And
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. You're right. But
Don't worry,
no,
it'll
it's
come back
cool.
for a month, and then another variant will spike, and then it'll get canceled like a week
The
later.
Albrecht variant.
Yeah, the Albrecht variant. Sorry, guys. Nothing personal.
Bro, what the Yeah, I mean, the Streeter coming back is cool. It can come back to one. It's fine.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean that's just kind of like cool. We'll see what people can do with it, but like I haven't seen anything like too crazy with it at least. At least not in actual paper play or TCG play.
I never really played in Destrudo anything, so I don't.
I mean, theoretically, it's strong. Like, it's just, if you can get it to the... Is it hand or grave? You pay half your life points and you just special summon it out. It's like essentially special, so, like, pay half your life points, get an extender. That's a tuner.
Are there refers on this list?
Yes.
But yeah, that's really... I think, does anyone else have anything to say about
No,
Destrudo or no?
not
It's
at
exciting.
all.
It's cool for dragons.
Yeah.
Didn't know
Gives
the
you a
card
free level
existed.
7.
Yeah, the next card, though, like... I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah, I don't really like snow as a card.
It just...
I again don't really know what snow, like what the implications of snow are, because
All I'm glad is that this card does not. Well, I mean, actually, okay. So this card got banned, Justin, right before we started getting back into the game, like
okay,
4 years ago. So you would use this in Thunderjack because it banishes 8 cards for cost to summon itself, not once per turn, and not even once per chain. You could chain it to itself
Yep.
to try to summon it more than once. So you just keep banishing your fucking like everything. I mean, obviously that'd be stupid unless you're doing some like crazy big brain play. But you know, like you could chain it to itself to try to summon it more than once, but you can't.
Yeah, you
summon
can't even
something that's
call
already
by
been
it.
summoned already. So anyway, it banishes 8 cards for cost, and then it just summons itself out. So yeah, I mean, oh, but anyway, it got banned because of Thunder Dragons and I think some other shenanigans that were going on back then. Oh, and it was played in like Grass's greener decks, which like, whoo.
and probably Grenmaju.
That card can never come back.
Woo!
That
Yeah,
card can
I
never, ever
genuinely
call
think-
back.
Yeah, never. Literally.
No,
never.
yeah, that card is untouchable on the
Comebackable.
list.
It's
yeah.
it's funny, but it cannot come back.
It's
No,
not
it's
funny. It's not funny. It's just not a well-designed card. Anyway,
It's also not once per turn.
Oh, that's oh god. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Grass
Fairy
is
Tale
not what's
Snow.
going on.
I'm just concerned. It just seems like something like that is unfun to have in the format. Like no part of that, like having that back, gets me excited or gets me like
Yeah.
like it's just like kind of like oh really, kind of like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. Like it fits at 1. Like, all right, what are you gonna do with it?
No, and yeah. Are we good to talk about the next card? Because this is just catharsis for me.
yeah.
Like I have been saying
It's a little
ever
like
since
Tiger.
yeah, fuck you. God damn it. I've been saying ever since I made my first stupid ban list thing, the first
What are they
Cumble.
called?
The Cumble, the completely unrealistic mega ban list extravaganza, TM.
Shout out to Murpha.
But I've been arguing that this card could come back to 1. It didn't even need to get banned, in my opinion. Just limited, and it was limited. But it's at 1 now. It's gonna do absolutely nothing because it's at 3 in Master Duel, and it's doing absolutely nothing. So yeah,
Cool.
he
Yeah,
told you.
I don't have anything to say on that. I don't like this card, but the
Yeah.
deck that it was run in is no longer relevant anyway, so
Yep. What I remember when it was banned, people were like saying like, "Oh my God, you can get the Simorg link out and just domain lock your opponent out, or not domain lock, but like get out the barrier statue." And at the time, that people are like, "Oh my
Which
God, that's
happened.
like, yeah," which happened. Anyways, with Bird Up and Trizu, I mean Trizu Bird Up are the same thing, but
literally yes.
yeah, but yeah, now it can come back. Simorg's gone, so like, what? You're just gonna turbo out a bunch of rank. Oh, I think the other thing. The other reason why people were scared about it, since it was like just a insanely efficient rank 4 engine, was Azathoth was also in the format too.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. You're so right. So true, bestie. So true.
Yeah.
All right, well that's all I have to say about that. Oh, also I'm trying to get Alex to play try Try Lear, or not try Learlusk. Try Lunalight.
Try Lunalight Tiger, more like. Heyo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mirrorless Recital Starling, limited, new. Let's talk about that.
Alex, any thoughts?
I mean, it is pretty fair because
This card is fucking busted.
I love when the player of a deck is like, yeah.
Yeah, it kind
Yeah.
of is.
it like when I was playtesting the deck myself, it was at a point where like I was yeah, being able to put 2 wing beast monsters, any wing beast monster from I think it had to be level 1, but just to get that from deck to hand twice because it's not once per turn is kind of dumb.
Yeah, especially considering that Try's Wing Beast monster is literally a wind level 1. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, card is stupid. It deserves to be there. I don't.
So
think
what?
we-
It's you summon it, and then on summon it does something, but then you can detach. It doesn't do anything on summon, does it?
No, it does do something on summon. It
I forget what it all does. It foolish is something or no?
no, on summon you can like take you choose a monster and it gains X attack and defense based on
Okay.
how much its first
How many
effect is like
materials it has,
its first effect is okay. It's really not the greatest.
It doesn't do
Okay, so it
anything.
doesn't
I was
further the
gonna
combo.
say,
The main effect is just the
no.
detach and add, pretty much.
Yep.
So you detach, add, and if you need to try, you just add Nerval or some shit. Right?
Yeah.
No? Am I wrong?
Yeah, it was
Yeah, you
either
add
you add
Nerval.
you either add Nerval or you add any other fucking Leerlisk monster I need to continue doing whatever nonsense I feel like doing. That was about it. It
Alright,
is a
fair enough.
valid. It was a valid.
Monster Gate being put to 1 makes absolutely
Yeah,
no
then
sense.
both these cards, like this one and the next one, are just
Okay,
why?
Desires was one of the most like egregious random hits. I mean, I'm not mad. I mean, for the rest of the player base, I am, but I'm personally not upset because that's I don't play Pot of Desires in any of my decks. Haha, I say decks as if I play more than one deck. But like okay, that's a really stupid hit.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
a really
like
stupid hit. But
because
I mean,
Gren
okay,
Maju was doing so much in the format.
Well, no.
I know why they hit Pot of Desire. Okay, I get it now. I get it. It's a mandatory 3 of in Tri Brigade variants. So like, I guess it was sort of a way to hit Tri Brigade, but I don't think it was fair to the 99%
Yeah.
of other decks
Yeah.
playing Pot of Desire.
It was
It's
like the
either
one
that-
cheap draw card.
I was gonna say it's either that they wanted to hit that, or they didn't like that all decks were playing this as like a draw card. But like, I don't know why that second option would be a thing because that's the point of draw cards is to play them so you draw your fucking cards.
Konami
and it-
wants us all to spend money
just-
to get.
I don't want to talk about this one too much because there's a lot that I could say on it. We have limited time, but this hit kind of makes no sense in my opinion because then why are things like Extravagance not on this
Money.
list too?
Let
But-
me put on my tinfoil hat real quick. Konami's going to be coming out with another pot card soon.
But then that still doesn't make sense because like Desires and Extravagance are very similar, except Extravagance, you don't fucking care what you banish because you're only playing that card in decks that literally don't need their extra deck. And so it's free.
And same with Prosperity, pretty
Prosperity
much.
is also a card, yeah.
Yeah, well, Prosperity is like
The only valid
you
reason
add
to
1 out of 6 cards
Yeah.
potentially like shown. It's a little different, but literally like Extravagance is draw 2 cards for banishing 6, and it's like okay, I'll do that. I don't know. It just seems off in my opinion. Like balance wise, if they're hitting it because it's like a cheap draw card, cheap in that like banishing 10 isn't really that big of a cost.
Oh, I would even argue
most
that
decks.
cheap as in like actual cost. I feel like Konami
No,
wants
I don't think that Konami has a hand in the secondary market.
not a secondary market, but that just means more people will buy said set to get the said card into the secondary market potentially.
I'm
maybe one of those maybe like Extravagance or Prosperity is going to be getting a reprint.
Extravagance already got reprinted, so it would be Prosperity.
Prosperity is definitely next
which
on the
is
chopping block.
like
It's good because I need Prosperity.
me
It's only
too.
an SR.
Anyway,
No, and
we
then
are
wait,
now-
Monster Gate was
oh,
super. Wait, okay, I'm sorry. Monster Gate was super random. The only thing that people are speculating was fucking Machina Rune Force FTK, which
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
died to a single hand trap, anyways, pretty much. So like, why? Infernoid
Because-
players in shambles.
Yeah,
Fuck you,
literally.
Shane.
I mean, yeah, fuck you, Shane.
Yeah, Shane.
Play Deathbot.
Play us once.
Okay.
Respond.
I would like to go.
There is nothing to respond.
The semi-limited list now.
Fusion Dest. I'm sorry.
Hero lives.
Hero lives.
Which,
doesn't
like,
do anything.
yeah, who
Yeah,
cares?
Hero
Anyways,
lives can come to
Fusion
free.
Destiny,
Oh
though.
man,
Uh,
fucking
This card.
pay half your. Okay.
I'm just gonna say, like, I think Fusion Destiny should go to 1. I don't
I
think it makes
agree.
sense at 2. I don't think it makes
Yeah.
sense at 2.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't think it does anything at 2.
Nope.
Darn, my striker deck now has to
Yeah,
upstart to get this card sometimes.
yeah. Like at 2, you still have Verte. That like it should be Verte to 0 and then Fusion Destiny to 1.
No, it should be this to 1. If you want to keep Verte in the game,
I'd argue
like,
both.
this card to 1 so that hard drawing it is almost impossible and you need to make Verte. The thing that sucks
Yeah.
about this fucking meta with this card in it is that its restriction doesn't matter. It's not like Red Eye Fusion where the restriction is a huge like drawback and you want to make Verte. You want to just draw this card because the card that it summons destroys itself anyway, or it gets its return effect by being destroyed by any card effect, including Fusion Destiny. So like, this at 2 does nothing. It effectively does 0.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
'Cause
Verte
there's-
desperately needs to go.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, because we know that they weren't gonna hit the DPE engine at all. Like it's way too fresh. But like I should say they weren't gonna kill it. They weren't gonna kill it. But we could have speculated that it was gonna get hit. So honestly, if they really wanted to, they could have kept Verte at 1, or I'm sorry, put Verte to 1, which wouldn't do anything, but it'd be like, and I only have 1. And then, or even kept it at 3, it doesn't matter. But then put Fusion Destiny to 1. So then you have to go through the Verte line to use it. Just so it has to be like a combo ender or something like that.
I still
But putting
think
it
that
to
like
2
if I had the
is
choice. Oh,
ridiculous.
sorry.
Okay,
Shane, we're not talking about Shane. If we all had the choice, we would ban Verte.
Yeah, we would all
Okay,
ban
alright.
Verte. We don't have
Alright,
to
I just
time
wanted to
on it.
Same thing with
establish that.
Konami, I'm trying to like reach a middle ground between Konami Brain and Player Brain, because Konami Brain is, we're not gonna get rid of this package. People are buying Burst of Destiny like hotcakes. And Shane, I love me some
Yeah, they
hotcakes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
hotcakes
good.
pretty nice.
McDonald's?
McDonald's. What sponsors? Anyway, but like Player Brain, we're like, well, we want this engine hit. So I'm trying to like reach a middle ground of like, okay, keep Verte, but like put Fusion Destiny to 1, because they're printing Fusion Destiny as an ulti. They have to make sales on OTS packs, and they also have to
Yeah.
make sales on Burst of Destiny still, because the cards, the set's insane. So I was just trying to like think, if you put Fusion Destiny to 1, okay, sure, we can still play this stupid card, but it's the resources are a lot more.
You're
resource
more
intensive.
likely.
You're more
I was gonna
limited,
say-
I should say. You're more limited in how you get to this card. Your lines are
Mhm.
going to be a lot more scripted. They're going to be a lot more what is the word? Telegraphed. And once you send the 1 Fusion Destiny, you don't have to worry about another one next turn or something. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that. So putting it, all this to say, putting it to 2 is dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
putting it
it's
to
just-
2
I'm
makes
mad
no
that it's at
sense.
2, but I would have liked it at less.
Speaking of
Just
that,
ban
the
Verte.
next card.
Nadir. It was a very
Arc of
random
Servant.
somehow.
It's kind of needed. Like this.
Yeah.
This card has I think putting it at 2 doesn't really do that much. But like
Doesn't.
at least
We have
they're
1.
finally addressing the issue that this card is a little unfair.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit
Um,
unfair.
I think they should have done, because this card is basically engaged, but for a different. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
It
I
is
didn't want to
engaged.
say it.
It
I didn't
is
want to
It's
say it
engaged for a
because
different archetype. It's
I didn't
engaged
wanna
for a different
hear-
engine.
I didn't want to hear Shane go like, Skater can play everything.
Okay, we're not going into striker.
No,
We're
no,
not
no.
going
I
into
I
that.
fully Nadir,
Oh,
like if engage is at
Oh,
one.
I wasn't done.
Okay, sorry.
I think they should, because this card is just engaged for a different archetype. I think they should have treated it the same way that they treated engage. Put it to 1, see how it's doing. If it's doing fine, okay, you keep it at 1. If it's not, if it's still incredibly oppressive, then you ban it. And then after like, I don't know, a year, you can test the waters, bring it back to 1, bring it back to 2, the same way they did with engage.
Yeah.
So I think putting it to like for
Engage at
now
2,
is
wait, what?
fine. Is fine. I would have liked it at 1 because I don't think it's a bannable card, but I mean it is a bannable card, but I don't think it needs to be banned right now.
No.
Yeah.
Also, I think banning it would just kill any Dogmatica engines.
Oh yeah,
Which,
no.
I mean,
this
I
card-
don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care either, but you know there are people that do and whatever. It can...
Bad people.
Here,
Okay.
hot take. Nadir Servant can stay at 3, ban Magical Meltdown, Alistair, and Invocation. There you
Okay,
go.
that's unneeded. Anyway, Salaman Grey Circle.
This is good.
This is
Just give
fine.
Salamander
I hate it, but I completely understand.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't like it
their
either.
stuff back. Like,
I don't care.
they're. I think most of the toss decks, except like fucking Thunder Dragon, like can have most of their cards back. Not Striker. I love Striker, but don't give us all of our stuff back. Most of the toss decks are pretty low power, and I think in formats like this, where fucking Brave and fucking Sword
which I want to talk
Soul
about
and fucking
potentially.
Bird Up, I don't think Salaman Great's gonna just fucking come out and clock any of those decks like out. Salaman Great Circle is just gonna give them more consistency and let them play the game more.
Yeah.
Now they have 3 copies of Gazelle, which is okay. That's as many as you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
I
you
like
ever
that.
see the picture of the guy like doing like skateboard tricks off of a stairs and he just lands on a rake at the end? That's pretty much Salad just doing all the steps of their combos just to get hit in the face with a nib. That's literally it.
Oh, get hit with a what?
Nib.
Okay.
Nibiru. God damn it, I hate you all.
Hey, Shane. Yeah, I don't think this deck's gonna fucking do shit.
Do any of you have any strong opinions on Scapegoat to 2?
It's weird.
I think it's like, alright, cool.
Yeah. I think we're fine.
Wait, can I wait, hold up. Okay, never mind.
I'm gonna kind of push through these next like 5 and then
Yeah,
these
'cause I know
the
you gotta
last
go soon.
card. Nessie to fucking unlimited, cool, good.
All the dangers can come back to 3. I swear.
Skull Crobat Joker, who the fuck cares?
Yep.
Red MD, fucking.
It could have
it's-
come back so long.
The-
Right
the
after
minute it-
Tirada.
They, yeah,
Right after
when it got
Tirada.
into Rada, Konami could just come out with like an emergency ban list being like, okay, this card's at 3.
Emergency teleport, kind of cool. It's not gonna do anything more at 3 than it was at 2, but like cool.
It's
Some
really
VW is
good
still
for-
somehow
it
bricky.
has nothing to do with VW. It's bad for PK. I mean, it's good for PK.
I was
but
gonna
it's
say
Yeah.
because
bad for
PK is
But-
getting a huge buff.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, I'm still not hearing of like PK like destroying like any.
That's another interesting
Anyways,
thing to
Brave
think about
PK
too.
is potentially the best deck this format.
Yeah.
I've
Do you
not
think
even heard
PK
of
is going to be
PK.
addressed?
Yeah, Brave PK is like
PK
the
is
best.
doing good.
Well,
Yeah, Brave
see you
PK is
later.
like insane.
See
Yeah,
you
do you
later,
thi-
Rusty Bardiche.
I was
Yeah,
going to ask.
oh, it's fine. It's fine. Not anymore.
Yeah. Do you
then
think PK is going to
Raigeki-
be okay, sorry.
Raigeki to 3, I think
That
that's
was a
really
Big
nice.
dick.
I
Big
love
dick.
this.
I love it. Okay,
love
can I just
this.
share a little fun fact for you guys?
Yeah,
The last time Raigeki was at
Share
3 was because the
Play
Forbidden
Grave.
Limited list did not even exist.
What does that mean?
There was no ban list in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh when Raigeki, or the last time Raigeki was at 3.
What does that mean?
Okay.
Why is it at
Okay.
1?
Okay. It was banned
Okay.
on the very first Forbidden and Limited list,
Okay.
meaning the last time it was completely legal at 3 was because there was no concept of being legal to play in the format because there was no list whatsoever. That is how long it's been since Raigeki has been able to be run at 3.
But then how'd it get on the list?
It was banned on the first list. What part of that aren't you guys understanding?
There wasn't a list,
I see,
though.
I see. Okay, so it went to
there
3,
wasn't
then
a
went was
list.
banned.
Yeah.
It was
However
released.
many
It
years
was
ago, came back to
released.
1.
Yeah.
And
now
then
it
it's-
came out
Yeah,
in
then it's
LOB.
released.
And then, yeah, it came out in LOB. There was no ban list during like the first couple of sets, I think. And then it was banned on the very first list when Upper Deck, I think, was like, yeah, you know what? Here you go. Like, this card has to be addressed.
Yeah, this card. This card's
You're
kind of.
very welcome.
This card's nice. There are so many cards in the game at this point that do exactly what Raigeki does. So having it at 3, I don't think is gonna matter. When fucking decks run Omni Negates that will just say, no Raigeki.
I mean, I guess the argument to that is now that you have 3, you might have open 2 of them or something like that.
Good.
Which then begs the question.
Actually, then setting up those Omni Negates is actually like, it's not the end all be all. Like, I think that's the most toxic part of the game. But, well, no, that's the second most toxic part of the game. The first most toxic part of the game is skill drain 2-3.
Oh, that too.
This is just bad. This is just bad.
This was like the thing that ruined the entire list. Like some of the other stuff above was kind of like, oh, why? This was like literally, oh my god. Because now Eldritch is literally like one of the best decks in the format. After Eldritch has been in the meta like at least at Rogue level since it's released.
Yeah, it's great engine. Like the engine's nuts, but its biggest drawback is that like the payoff is pretty weak. Now when you just flip up a card that says your opponent can no longer use monster effects, it's like it's a pretty good payoff.
It's IO for monster effects.
Yeah, and this is another one of those cards that like, yeah, leave it or ban it or let it to 3, and they said, fine, we'll take away Imperial Order and give you skill drain. And I don't know why, because
3 skill drain, 3 fucking Mystic Mind, Jesus.
Like this card is just, the game already has a huge issue with like floodgate, like monkey decks, and this is just saying like, yeah, we're supporting you now. Like that's a style of play that we want more people to play, and I mean, I guess that's fine because some people enjoy that, but game health wise, I think it was a poor move because the card was already at 1. Like, just fucking leave it there at that point.
I think Yu-Gi-Oh is at its best when it consists of like individual effects that have to be activated at the right time versus cards that you can just flip or activate that either put some sort of lingering effect on the field or continuous effect on the field. And just be like, yep, here you go.
So true, best.
Okay, so Justin does have to leave soon. The last thing I wanted to talk about the ban list were the omission of things that are on this list. Not necessarily talking about what could come back, because everyone knows Orchis Harpor can come back, but we won't talk about that. It's particularly 2 cards, in my opinion, that aren't on this list.
What are those 2 cards, Shane?
Well, Mystic Mind, of course, and I will continue to say that for the
okay. Well, you don't have to explain that. We've beat that horse to death.
Yeah. The last one is Artifact Scythe is nowhere on this list. Literally the best deck in the format and one of the best part of the DPE engine, which I guess why it wasn't hit. But at the same time, like if they hit Protoss, which was a floodgatey effect that the best deck in the format was using, why not hit the next floodgatey effect that every other deck was using in the format with DPE? And it's also one of the reasons why, and with the introduction of the Brave engine as well, why PK is actually the best deck in the format right now, because they can run all 3 of these engines. They can run the DPE engine, they can run the Brave engine. Scythe is part of that package. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be part of it.
It gets really bricky, though, I will say. If you run all those, it gets really bricky.
It has 3 E-Telly. I mean, I get what you're saying, but like, if it was as bricky as like...
My deck?
Well, yeah, but like if it was that bricky... sorry. But if it was that bricky, it wouldn't be considered the best deck in the format. It has consistency.
No, yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't. But sometimes it can just be like overkill if you're playing way too many bricks. But anyway, I mean, it is what it is.
Is there any card that you guys are surprised, not necessarily surprised, but you wished you would have seen on this list that isn't here?
Meltdown.
Yeah, the fact that they invoked. So I read a tweet earlier today, or like a Reddit post. I forget what it was.
Hopefully
In either March or May, I forget which M month it was, but
Manuary.
yeah, exactly. Yu-Gi-Oh would have been would be.
September.
I hate all of you. God damn it. But anyways,
Moon.
Mulai.
God fucking damn it.
Shane, go ahead. Continue.
Okay, all right. The Yu-Gi-Oh TCG would have been out for 20 years. Invoked has been relevant for a quarter of that time.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I think it came out in 2017. It's been 5 years. It literally has been an engine for a quarter of Yu-Gi-Oh's entire lifespan. It needs some addressing. Limit Magical Meltdown. I used to think it was Indication. I go between the two of them.
The Invoker. I think that's the only course of action here.
I honestly wouldn't be upset.
Ban Alistair, ban Ray, ban Eldritch the Golden Lord.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on, the game.
I've always been saying this.
No, for me it's Verte 100%. Like that card just needs to fucking go. It's been a really long time. That card has had its time in the spotlight, and it continues to get its time in the spotlight because the more they release just strong fusions in general, the more decks will run the package to get the payoff. And it's
I think sadly that's gonna be the reason why it doesn't disappear, because they're just gonna keep releasing strong fusions.
But I don't.
Yep.
It's so toxic.
I think it's dumb, but it's why they're gonna keep it around.
Like, this isn't a Hulk situation. Like, this enables, like, one really, really toxic combo. This enables a lot of toxicity. Like,
You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong.
Remember when? Just kidding. Anyway, this card's almost been out for 2 years. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's not okay. That's all I'll say is, like, we can get into Master Duel in a second, but I want to say, like, for me, the state of the TCG is just shit. It is not fun.
Yeah, especially with the Brave
good.
engine coming out.
Yeah.
It's
out.
Entry,
it's out.
Yeah.
The entry wall, like, money-wise, is fucking massive.
It's higher than it's ever been in recent memory, to be honest.
And it's not even just because of, like, just like the pandemic. It's just that, like, you need so many brand new, just released cards to be relevant.
Yep.
And, like, there's always gonna be some of that, but now it's a lot.
I know it's not a good. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it's the game is not in a good state right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, like, I know it's not like the best indication of the meta because a lot of people bring stupid ass decks to it. But MBT's Chalice Slime, I think the last one where he had, like, it was the new list, I think, with everything legal. Or it might have been the old, I forget. Either way, pretty much all of the decks that topped, like, got top 16 were running the Brave DPE engine in some sort of, or Brave or DPE engine in some fashion.
When I say this, I'm not, like, just exaggerating. DPEE as an engine is, like, tier 0 right now. Like, it is just insane how necessary that card is in the current meta of Yu-Gi-Oh. And
I
it
can't play it.
exactly. And it keeps so many decks.
That brings me to another point. I actually want to see Konami release incredibly strong support, almost like borderline broken support for certain strategies, but give them like a huge restrictions. Like, if it's like if DPE had a thing saying, like, you can only activate and resolve this effect if you have, or if the only monsters you control are in your graveyard are hero monsters, or Fusion Destiny had a bigger restriction, or the Brave token means, like, you cannot activate this card if you have, control any other, or in your graveyard monsters that don't say Brave or Adventure token in the.
Well, then that brings up the whole issue of the game is got a lot of hand traps, and if you use a hand trap, you've now locked yourself out of your deck for the rest of the game.
Oh, that's true too. But like, or I'm not saying like specifically, but I'm just like saying like, introduce heavy restrictions. Like in my deck, Dozer only can special Earth machines for the rest of the turn. Bullet Train, you can only control Earth machines. So like, I can't do anything other than just get out big bunguses.
Like your entire
Ahmed's deck. Ahmed,
Earth
what's
machines.
it? Remus locks you out of the extra deck other than monsters if you use the effective
Yeah,
special
other than,
from.
I can't summon anything other than monsters from the extra.
Does, and I forget, does something else in your deck restrict you
Shane.
to wind or no?
Shane,
Yeah, huh?
think of what you just said.
What?
I'm locked out of everything other than monsters from the extra deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
well,
did say that.
I did say
I'm
that,
locked
didn't
out
I?
of anything other than dragons from the extra.
Yeah, dragon. Sorry. But yeah, like just you can print really strong. Like in case anyone from Konami is listening, which they absolutely not, just print strong stuff. Just give it huge restrictions that they can only realistically be used in that archetype or around a certain strategy. That you can't just throw in every single deck. And Justin, this kind of touches on something you mentioned ages ago in another episode. The fact that everything is an engine now is just
I think we all
it's
talked
ridiculous.
about that.
Yeah.
I really hate that. Like I like the game, obviously. That's why I still play it. So I mean, we're all playing it still. Less so now in person, but you know, we have Master Duel. But I really, this is just me and how my brain works. I really like when everything has its own like fun strategy. And sometimes, you know, some strategies can like work together. That makes sense. That's fine. But when it's like, I'm going to put this in this and this together because they don't conflict, and then I have this amalgamation, it's just really, it takes a lot of the charm out of the game. You know, like
Yeah.
I am playing Lurlusk. You know, that deck has a theme. You know, the players that play it have like, you know, you can extrapolate and be like, oh, they have like certain personality characteristics. It just takes a lot of the charm out of the game.
Yeah,
Where
or
it's like, yeah, I'm just throwing like all these fucking yup cards at each other, and then it's gonna turn into.
or they
this
end
thing.
on like specific boss monsters that are like
Exactly.
iconic to
That's
the
what I'm
deck.
saying. That's
Like
exactly what I'm
Leerlusk,
saying.
I think like at the core when it originally was released, I think it was like almost like a OTK deck. But it was like the reverse of OTK, where like you can use your, because I think Recital Starling, one of the Leerlusk Exceeds, makes it so that any battle damage you would take is inflicted to your opponent instead. So if your opponent has a,
Starling.
yeah. So like if
but
you
it's
have a
both.
yeah,
You
so
take
you
it
have
as well as your opponent.
oh, I thought there was something that made it so that you didn't take the damage. But
No.
either way, you could OTK.
Oh, what's her face?
Nightingale.
Nightingale makes it so you take no damage.
Yeah, so like Nightingale, like if you have that on the field with Recital Starling or Recital Starling, god damn it, MBT.
Recital.
But you could just attack into your opponent's big monsters. They're not destroyed by battle, so like you just inflict 3,000 to your face. But like now, every single deck is ending on some like the same type of stuff. An Omni Negate, some sort of floodgatey effect, and then some sort of other interaction. So like Boral Savage, DPE for a pop, and then some sort of floodgate, or Buster Dragonlock, Boral Savage, a Reed Bear. Well, I mean that's just specifically to your deck.
What the hell?
But like, but I'm just saying, like it's these just generic boss monsters that like you have. Oh, this is a really cool strategy. Look at this combo deck. It can do this, 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 and this, and oh, look what it ends on. Boral Savage, a floodgatey effect, and DPE or some other sort of interaction. Every single combo deck is ending on pretty much the same board nowadays.
Yeah.
I'll just say like the reason I complain so much, like, yeah, my deck got a huge buff with DPE, but I hate it because I play Striker because I love Striker as an archetype, right? Like I've talked to death about how you all your cards are searchable, but you need to know what you need to search, and like all your cards are yours, and I love that. And like, sure, DPE is really good and makes my deck stronger, but I'm playing heroes, sort of, in my deck that's about an anime girl and her mech suits. And it feels like shit. I don't know. There's another
I get
reason
what
why
you're
I
saying.
think,
Like
the
you're
current,
almost forced to.
yeah, I am. Like, there is no better variant of Striker than DPE Striker. It is the only meta relevant striker list right now. There's no way around it, and it's infuriating because it's like I don't want to play this card. It's a really good card, but I don't want to play a card from another archetype in a deck that I just because I have to. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's shitty.
I also just thought of a trend that like this is getting way into the future that might start happening. Okay, never mind. I was just gonna say, like, at some point, if they don't address this DPE situation right now, it could get to the point where maybe they do just ban DPE instead of doing anything to Fusion Destiny or Verte and keeping Verte in the format. But as long as Verte's still in the format, they'll keep coming out with more and more of these busted ass fusions. And then after Konami's like, well, we made our sales and we let this has been around long enough. We're just going to ban the fusion and rinse and repeat to the point where Verte's just going to stay legal forever. And all these powerful fusions are just going to keep coming out and then getting banned like a year later. Because isn't there another, like, there's another really busted ass fusion card coming out, branded fusion in like a structured deck. And I'm really not like looking forward to that. But that's all I have to say about that. Sorry.
I have to get going pretty shortly here. I just think we should all touch on Master Duel while I'm here, and then I can dip out, and you guys can keep going on
you
it.
can share your thoughts on Master Duel first, considering you got to get going soon.
Master Duel came out. I have a lot of mixed feelings on it. After this list, I'll say I'm happy that Master Duel has a different list. Because it's refreshing because it doesn't have like Brave and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I will say my biggest frustration with Master Duel is that it's not like Edo Pro where I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm playing a different game.
Yeah.
I'm playing again, I play Strikers, so my list I can't even like simulate my list because half my cards are at different ratios than I'm allowed to play, and yeah, it doesn't feel good to have to like have two different deck lists, one for real Yu-Gi-Oh and one for online Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think that will cause friction going down the road. That being said, I think like gameplay wise, Master Duel is phenomenal. I really enjoy it.
They did a pretty damn good job with it.
They did a really good job. I have been really enjoying my games. It's best of one, so when I get really tilted, I can literally just be done and walk away.
Yep.
It is best of one, so you do have to like just understand that there are games that are unwinnable because it's Yu-Gi-Oh! And game one is just a fucking crapshoot.
And you're shooting crap.
You're shooting crap. And also, I want to talk about this more, but since I don't have time, I won't be able to. But Maxi at 3, I enjoy it because it forces combo decks to actually think about extending or not. And I personally think that that's healthy for the game when every deck, Tri-Brigade, Lyrilisc, fucking Brave, like when all these decks are just comboing for days and days. So,
I want to play not necessarily devil's advocate here because I do not think that Maxi should ever see the light of day in the physical game. But there have been too many times considering like, okay, so the strat I play is just blind second trains. It's not the greatest, but I somehow get to plat every single season, which has just been 2. But I am right now stagnating in plat 5. But anyways, there have been too many times where since I'm blinding second, I just drop Max C, my opponent passes, and I just OTK him the next turn. That is almost as well, yeah, but that's as unhealthy as them doing their combo and then locking me out of the game.
I think that's just them being. I'm gonna say this. I think that's just them being a baby. Like Maxi is not so scary that you can't play any cards into it. It's not. Like
it
the
almost
worst your
is.
opponent's gonna draw is a hand trap, and like yeah, that sucks. But like you gotta try. You can't
no,
just...
that's not the worst that they can draw. at some point you reach a critical mass of extenders to the point where you like other combo decks can just combo through their entire board, depending on what kind of board they're ending on.
And I think that's
Or
fine. That's you play a combo deck,
they'll
so
just
your
draw like
combo
me. I'll
better be
just draw
better.
more board breakers to the point where they just everything they've done is nullified. It
No, because if your
it's
combo deck's good enough, it will negate those board breakers. It will
there's a
negate.
reason why one of the strongest effects in the game is to draw cards. There's a reason Pot Greed is at 0.
But it's
There's a
interacting with
reason.
your opponent.
Yeah.
It requires your opponent to do something, which has always been one of the weakest effects in Yu-Gi-Oh!
I don't know. We'll agree to disagree, but yeah.
Yeah, all I'll say is, like, I've been enjoying that because I think that combo decks in the TCG are just, like, you can't even hand trap most of the top ones because they don't have, like, a choke point that matters. You can stop them from ending on... You can stop them from ending on 4 big, giant, undefeatable monsters, so then they just have to end on 3, but, like, who the fuck cares? At some point, like, it doesn't matter.
I completely... I'll agree with you on that point, where, like, modern hand traps that are coming out do not feel strong enough to do anything at all against modern combo decks.
And so
doesn't do anything, really, in my opinion. Imperm does very little depending on if like what their hand is, but they usually draw more extenders. Pretty much anything else, like outside of like just floodgatey effects, which like I argued against, like Droll, Nibiru, or just not necessarily floodgatey, but just stuff that like board wipes or prevents like a specific action from being had for the rest of the turn, or gives you just advantage over the entire course of the turn, like Maxi. Those are like the haymaker hand traps that really are only relevant nowadays. So I can at least see the argument to bring back Maxi, but I still think it's like, because there's nothing preventing those decks from also running Maxi.
But I think that's where it like equalizes, is because then both decks have this quote-unquote nuclear weapon.
A mutually assured destruction, my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
But like at the same time, and this is just as a player who doesn't like to spend money on the game, I still haven't bought my 2 other droplets. If Maxi ever does come back, it will first of all be a mandatory 3 of in almost every single deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
And 2, it will cost literally a fortune to get this card.
Not if
like
they
a place out of the
reprint
court.
it, like really, really well.
It will get
But they would
reprinted
have
as
to
a
do that.
Starlight
Will
rare. I
they?
swear to God.
No,
They
they
will
won't.
reprint it at the minute they bring Maxi back. They will reprint it as like the highest rarity they possibly can in a set, and that will become the best-selling Yu-Gi-Oh set ever. And each copy is going to be $120 minimum.
But yeah, that's all I really have to say on Master Duel. I wish I could stick around longer here, but I'm gonna have to leave this episode early.
Oh, bye, Justin.
Good luck, Shane, by Droplet, and I'll talk to everyone later. Thanks, fans, for listening.
Bye, Justin.
Goodbye.
Everyone say bye, Justin.
Bye,
Bye, Justin.
Bye, Justin.
It's time for us to say bye
Justin.
to Justin. And here.
And he's gone.
Okay, all I have to say about Master Duel is Master Duel fun. That's it.
Master Duel is
It's
fun.
a fun game.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I
I get sacked a lot more than I would hope to, but you know, that's Yu-Gi-Oh.
I need to
Fun.
stop scooping as soon as I see a Drytron monster with no interruption in my hand, because I decided to sit through a Drytron combo because I had no interaction, and they literally ended on Nightmare Phoenix pass because they didn't. I think it was a new player. They didn't add the ritual spell, or they didn't have a way to add the ritual spell.
Oh no.
So I was like, lol. Anyways, I think it came out January 19th or something like that. Because I remember I was on Twitch. I was just like, well, I'm going to be going to bed soon. I'm just going to pop on Twitch, see what people are doing. Saw the tag Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I was like, oh, okay. So I remember hearing that this tag was out. Clicked on it just to see what was going on. And people were fucking playing Master Duel. And I was like, what? Turns out it came out on consoles. And everyone was just like in Master Duel should be waiting like, is it on PC? Is it on PC? It's downloadable on PC. Okay, we're launching it. Okay, there's, maintenance. And then eventually it came out. I'm pretty sure I stayed up to like 5 a.m. that night, or 5 or 6 a.m.
That's your normal
Great.
like
I
bedtime.
was gonna
What
say
are you
that's
talking
Kinda.
normal.
But,
It was like officially playable at like 3:30 in the morning because I was also up.
Hey. Yeah, it's been the 19th, I think, and it's February 9th right now, and I have almost 72 hours on it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I had to say.
There's
I
just
also
like
need
a...
to leave soon.
Oh, you also need to leave soon? Okay.
Yes.
Alright, I guess we could call it there. I have some more stuff to say about Master Duel, but like nothing... It's all been stuff that's like kind of been touched on. The ban list is kind of weird. Maxi at 3, Rongo, Colossus at 1, which I didn't realize how nuts of a card that was, and now I'm kind of happy that it's banned in the TCG and will stay banned. Copium. Other shit on the list, Skill Drain at 3, which is if Master Duel is an indication of how that's going to affect the TCG. Oof. Eldritch is going to be very, very strong. What else? Quickly. Best of Ones, I think, is actually good for at least Master Duel. I would never want to play a best of one format in real life, but in Master Duel, Justin said it best, it keeps things fresh. Like, you're like, oh, well, shit, alright, I'm just gonna go on to the next one. Instead of, like, doing, like, a match type setting, where, like, you lose to their deck, you know, turn, or game 1, you side for game 2, and you either still lose, or you know game 3 you're gonna lose, because, you know, at least you'll have your side deck cards, but still.
So true.
Oh, gems, fucking, they definitely gave out like so much during the beginning, and now it's just completely petered out. I'm actually
I get
upset
like
about
1,000 per day usually.
What are you doing? 1,000 per day, Jesus.
Just playing. Just kidding. I don't get 1,000 per day. Anyway.
It's like maybe 500, but like, because you know sometimes only get like.
Well, I don't
20
spend
gems
any. I don't spend gems anymore. Like I have what I need. Like I just accumulate a fuck ton.
Yeah, no, I'm
Anyway.
the same. I just want to build other, like right now I'm trying to build Plunder, and it's I just need UR shit, but I only have like 3,000 gems left.
Sex. Anyway, all right. Anything else, guys?
Oh,
No, I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, you're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Would you rate it?
Is that copyrighted?
If it is, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean for that. I also didn't quote the whole thing. Anyway, I'm Ahmed. I'm Justin.
I'm Alex.
He's
I'm
Alex.
Justin.
I am
He's
Shane.
And who else? Who else are you?
I'm also Justin.
We
I'm not
also
gonna
We're
mimic
all
it.
Justin.
Yeah.
We are all
Okay.
Justin.
Thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves. Do something kind for yourselves today if you listen to this. If you listen to us talk about this stupid game that we all actually love for an hour and a half, do something kind for yourself. Give yourself a hug.
Or don't.
Yeah,
no,
or don't.
no, do something kind to yourself for yourself.
Or don't.
No, do something kind for yourself. And
don't.
wear a mask. Wash your
Do
hands.
that.
Drink
Yeah, please do
water.
that.
Exercise. And talk about your feelings. Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Do something nice for yourself. Oh god. You know when you get like a booger that goes like way back in your sinuses, like in your throat?
Yeah, it's the
It,
worst.
like
thing
tickles
in
your
the world.
brain. Oh no, I'm right. You
Okay,
said
hold on.
throat.
Okay, let me go spit it out and then I'll.
Oh.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy, he says.
Nah, I just swallowed it.
Oh.
Okay.
No, that's sometimes you gotta do that.
Yeah, no, I
Sometimes that's
completely
ju-
understand, and I've
that's
done
the
the
only
same in the past,
option.
but it's still like, yeah.
There's a recording of you of this now.
Yes,
so.
yeah. Oh, and if you like at least now I don't have to put the you saying you hate Yu-Gi-Oh at the end because I can just put that.